Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray, brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on this March the 23rd. And as Amy Snyder said, that this is a Youth Turkey Weekend. And then, of course, next weekend we'll kick off the Tennessee turkey season, which is one of my favorite times of the year. It's a time of the year that I actually can do things that my wife doesn't think I can do. I can't use the vacuum cleaner, but I can sure crawl on my belly to try to kill a turkey. And I don't know how I'm able to do that at 75 years old, but it is there. Hey, one of my favorite places, and if you have not been there, shame on you. I mean, I had the privilege of being there before it opened. I know I got to get back there because something's always going on at the Tennessee Aquarium and the IMAX Theater there in Chattanooga. And we've got the man that can tell us all about it because there's some really neat things always seem to happen at the aquarium, and that's Thom Benson. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning, Larry. And to back up just a second,
yes,
this is a great time to be out in the woods mushroom hunting. When you're out there turkey hunting,
yes,
mushroom hunting, it's just a great time of year.
It is. I've done that before myself, and I don't even like mushrooms, but
just make sure you pick the right mushroom.
Oh, I don't pick the left mushroom. I always do the right one. That's exactly right.
There's a reason they're left behind.
Yes, they are, and that's Mark Copley from Strike King Lures and with us, and of course this being the fourth Saturday of the month, it's Double Wong, and Ron Wong is
Hey,
with
good
us.
morning, everybody, and so happy to be in studio today.
And listen to the guest. And Tom, I know that in your position, first of all, tell us a little bit about the aquarium itself, and then let's jump into this latest thing that just came out with the new mural that we talk about, and then we'll talk about something that's starting really soon. So talk about what's going on over there.
Yeah, well, the latest thing, Larry, is we have a new gallery in our Ocean Journey building, and it's beautiful. It's called Island Life, and it really takes our guests on an island hopping adventure around the world.
Amazing.
You start off with beautiful reef fish from the Coral Triangle in the southwest Pacific Ocean, north of Australia. And we travel different locations around the world, including the chilly waters off the coast of Vancouver Island in British Columbia, Canada.
And that leads us into David Rock. So
yes.
Talk about, I've looked this guy is he's really famous. He specializes in crafting transportive landscapes to serve as backdrops for exhibits in museums, aquariums, 33 states, Canada, Mexico, Portugal. I don't know how Kuwait got in there, but the rest of them, and even on cruise liners. So talk about what David Rock has done for the aquarium.
Well, I first met David back in 2007 when we opened our Penguins Rock exhibit.
That's
and
a great
David
exhibit.
He came to Chattanooga to paint the mural in there, the scenic landscape of the Antarctic Islands.
I didn't know he did that. Okay.
Yeah, and I was just enthralled with his work, and he's a great guy. He's very mild-mannered. I asked him, do you use pictures or how do you do this? And he said, well, I do some research. He said, I used to go and travel different places and take my own pictures if I was doing a jungle scene. He said, but some stupid jaguar or lion would get in the way of my pictures.
So stupid.
Of course, he was kidding about that, but
you know,
he was more interested in the landscape than the actual animals. And it's interesting, Larry, because his work is beautiful. It's meant to help you feel like you're in that sense of place. And in this most recent case, it's the mountains around Vancouver Island. And he really relishes the fact that he doesn't want you to notice his art if it brings you into that atmosphere and you don't really notice that the artwork's there, but you feel like you're in that location. That's his best day. He doesn't want his art to stand out from the exhibit.
It's kind of like a basketball referee in March Madness. They don't want to be recognized.
No, not at all.
Some of them don't.
No, some
or
of
the
them
NFL refs that don't want to get in the way of the
right.
play.
Yeah. But again, he's done this, and I know it opened in mid-March with the mural, and the mural is kind of like, of course, he's from Portland, Oregon, so he got this scene for the Vancouver Island tank. Is that right?
Exactly. So he spent a lot of time hiking, backpacking, and camping in British Columbia, so he was very familiar with this. So it was interesting. We did a time-lapse videography segment about this.
Yeah.
And in almost one day, he just had the whole, almost the whole thing roughed out. And then about midway through there, you're going to see a point where he basically erases the whole middle part because he didn't like the way it looked and started over.
That's amazing.
Which for me would be like, there goes weeks and weeks of work. But for him, it was just like, yeah, I don't really like that.
And he did it in 5 days? You're telling me he did it in 5 days?
The whole thing was finished in
Wow.
5 days. It was absolutely remarkable. And I asked him, I said, do you ever put like a little Easter egg in there for somebody to find? And he said, well, what do you mean? I said, well, like an owl up in the trees. And he kind of looked at me with a grin and he said, no, I haven't. Well, guess what? If you look at that mural very closely, up in one of the pine trees, there's an owl on one of the branches.
Tom,
that he
you
snuck
did it
in for me.
You did it just for you, Tom the Owl. Have you named Tom the Owl sitting up in there? Thanks to David Rock and everything. But I know that this is just part of the. Let's see if I'm not 1990. When did y'all open? When did you open?
It was 92, May 1st of 1992.
Because I was there. I was there right before it opened with a group of outdoor riders from the Tennessee Outdoor Riders Association, and folks, Chattanooga's got it down for us. Their front, their river area, and this is one of the sites that you need to see. And they've also on April the 4th. Tell us what's happening on April the 4th.
Yeah, we are going to be showcasing a new film that was shot here in the Southeast. And as anybody who listens to your show knows, the Southeast is a very special place with a lot of fish and a lot of aquatic wildlife. And this film was shot over about 8 years. The filmmakers are from Oregon as well. And they came down here at least 2 trips a year. Some of those trips were between 6 and 8 weeks in length to film underwater in the streams, the mountains across Georgia, Southeast Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, and the Carolinas. And it's just a celebration of all the water that's, all the life that's underwater. So it's kind of an extension of your aquarium experience. That was the whole point when the aquarium opened in 1992, was to show people what is below the water here, because we have a remarkable amount of animals. Half of all the fish species in North America are right here in the Southeast. Almost all the turtles,
amazing.
Almost all the salamanders, mussels, crayfishes, they're all right here. But because they're underwater, they're hidden from view. And we've got a lot of, just spectacular fish that are absolutely beautiful. Everything from the bluegill that we love to catch to, those prehistoric lake sturgeon that we've been helping to restore for the last 20 years here in the Tennessee River. So this is a great film. If you're in the Chattanooga area, I'd encourage you to come see it. It will be making regional stops as we go through the spring and into the summer. We've got viewings shown in Knoxville, Nashville, Atlanta, Birmingham, Huntsville. I don't know that we have anything as far west as Memphis yet on the schedule, but our hope is to get this into communities throughout the Southeast so everybody can really get a look at this film and appreciate what we have here.
Okay, now I've got some really wonderful fishermen in the studio with me this morning. I mean, these guys are experts. They've been doing it for all their life. Have you ever seen a neon bright spawning fish?
No.
Okay, that's Ron Wong. Okay, Mark Copley.
I've seen one that was a replica in a lure.
Okay, all right. How about minnows who construct nests from pebbles?
Missed that one.
Say that again.
Minnows who construct their nests from pebbles. Just say no and go on. It takes too much time. Silence is awful in radio, okay? All right.
No.
This look on their face. Well, if they see this documentary, they will see that, right, Tom?
Absolutely. We have these fish that
they're native to here.
They're native to here. They are every bit as colorful as what you would see in a Caribbean coral reef.
Really?
But they're right here in our streams in the Southeast. And these are fish that you can find in northern Alabama and northern Mississippi. You can find them. It's not just restricted to the mountain streams of the Smokies and the Appalachian Mountains. These are all over the Southeast, and that's part of what we do at the Tennessee Aquarium Conservation Institute, is really work to protect these species and help people understand that all life depends on fresh water. So if we're doing a good job taking care of it, then it's great for everybody who enjoys the outdoors, but it's also our source of drinking water. And all of these animals depend on the same thing we do, and that's clean, fresh water.
Well, you know,
Wow.
both of these guys, I've really bamboozled them here. That's a word I use very rarely.
It
But,
just goes to show you're never
no,
too old to learn something.
but most of these fish that we've just talked about, y'all have made them into to hard plastic lures. Okay,
Oh,
I mean that's
absolutely.
because
Yeah.
what
There's
eats
a
the
color
fish.
that's out there.
That's a color that's out there. Yeah. So
No doubt about it.
yeah.
So, Larry, most of these fish get in those bright breeding colors in the spring. Do you know the one fish in
Uh-oh.
Tennessee that gets the bright breeding colors in the fall?
Let's see. It would have to be a Raging Cajun chartreuse bacon ripping and flipping rig. I don't know.
No, I'll give you a hint.
What?
You can see them on license plates across the state, and
Smallmouth.
Smallmouth bass.
it's Tennessee's only native trout species.
It's a trout. Yeah, I was thinking it'd be
Brook trout.
brook trout.
Yep, southern Appalachian brook trout. They get
Wow.
those bright red colors on their belly and their fins during the fall when their breeding season is in full swing.
Oh, well, we don't talk about breeding seasons very often on this show, so we've also learned something from Tom. Well, that's pretty amazing. Tom, tell them information about, because I know a lot of folks are planning vacations and everything. Tell them a little about how they can find out about how to get book some trips there and see what the aquarium's got.
Yep, it's great if you look us up on TennesseeAquarium.com or find us on Facebook at Tennessee Aquarium. We've got a lot of updates there and a lot of videos about what our scientists are doing out in the field and some of these colorful fish throughout the Southeast.
It's a wonderful place. Thank you, Thom Benson. We'll stay in touch, okay?
All right, have a good weekend.
Thank you. All right, Thom Benson, great man from the Tennessee Aquarium. All right, we got to take a break. It's time, right? You're shaking your head. Sheldon McCall, when he shakes her head, I don't hear anything, but I know what you're talking about. All right, let's take a break. Come right back, and it's fish talk time. And now our guest in the studio is really.
We're going to unveil
Yeah.
our guests.
Yeah, I don't know about that. We're going to talk to her. We'll be right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray.